After all, how stingy was this boy? As for the tube of toothpaste, he used pliers to squeeze until it was exhausted. Although the toothbrush fell into the drain, he still couldn't bear to leave it. When going to the movies with his girlfriend, he didn't buy tickets, but just looked at the big screen outside. His girlfriend also had to pay for popcorn. When he made love to his girlfriend, he even used free stuff that expired a long time ago. When going to the supermarket, he also had to calculate every penny with the cashier. Just because of 0.03 euros, he got into an argument at the cashier. To save 2 euros on bus fare, he walked home. Fortunately, he met a kind neighbor and gave him a ride. Everyone around looked at him with disdain. Even when eating, he didn't turn on the light, he waited until the street light came on. Did you think he did it because he was poor? But it wasn't really like that. His personal account had up to 25,000 euros. So why was he so stingy? Because his father was a saboteur. He only knew to spend money. He spent more money than his wife, and he never thought about his unborn child. So the wife was extremely angry and shouted, "I really hope our son is not like you. If you hear me, promise me you won't be like your father." Therefore, when he grew up, that boy was extremely thrifty. That boy was Francois. And because of that, he was still alone at the age of 40. "Isn't this the new player of the orchestra?" he asked a woman. The woman asked him, "I just wanted to ask if you could lend me." She hadn't finished speaking yet he interrupted her. Francois thought she borrowed money from him, so he immediately refused. But when he heard her say that she was practicing the violin, he reluctantly agreed. During practice, Valerie also had feelings for this handsome man. So she took the initiative to ask him out for a drink. But he certainly wouldn't agree, because he was afraid it would cost money to go out. Although Francois was very rich, he still didn't feel enough. "I need to save money," he told his friend. "You've been very thrifty," his friend said. "I can still save more," he said. To save more money, when going on stage to perform, Francois also borrowed vests from students' parents. He even borrowed shoes, but it didn't fit his feet. However, he still tried very hard. After the performance ended, there was a girl coming to his house, and she told him, "I'm your daughter." Francois didn't believe it at all. "I don't believe. Don't look for me to sell things anymore, I don't need it." But when she said her mother's name, Francois was dumbfounded. After all, what was going on? It turned out that many years ago, because of using expired items when making love, so his girlfriend was pregnant. However, Francois wanted to save money to buy gifts for her. He offered to break up before her birthday. Therefore, Francois was also unaware of the existence of this daughter. "Okay," he said. "She had come here, what could I do?" But when he wanted to say something to his ex-girlfriend, he found out that the free call was about to expire. Because it would cost money to make a phone call, Francois didn't want to. He quickly ran to the neighbor's house to borrow the phone to talk clearly with his ex-girlfriend. His daughter really admired him, and she wanted to stay here for a month. He also reluctantly agreed. When returning from the neighbor's house, Francois discovered that all the lights in the house were turned on. But he didn't want this at all. Until his daughter took out the money. 120, she asked. 140, he replied. "Okay, I know the field value." Therefore, Laura was staying here. When she woke up early in the morning, everything in the house was priced like a supermarket. Even her father told her not to take a bath to save money. If she wanted to take a bath, it was only 2 minutes at most. However, Laura didn't care. Francois even rushed in and dragged her out of the bathroom. At this time, Laura's body was full of shower gel. Francois even took off the light bulb. Francois already felt restricted in his daily life, and he also didn't believe in the appearance of his daughter. He even thought that she wanted to get married, so she came to ask for a dowry. However, Laura didn't know this. She also put on beautiful makeup to have dinner with Francois. But when she opened the wardrobe, there was nothing inside. After that, Francois took the initiative to invite Valerie to dinner. This made his colleagues extremely surprised. Someone even reminded Valerie that she remembered to bring her credit card. Francois took Valerie to a noodle shop. "Is it here?" She was a bit confused. Valerie felt it wasn't good, so she said she was allergic to noodles. Then she dragged him to a seafood restaurant. But after Francois looked at the price on the menu, he couldn't accept it. When Valerie ordered food, Francois refused. Finally, he just ordered a glass of water. After that, he only dared to eat a little sauce on Valerie's plate of noodles. Before leaving, he also took out a plastic bag. At this moment, Valerie felt really embarrassed. When paying, the waiter was approaching, he felt extremely panicked. Then he held the bill and put it into Valerie's mouth. When he just got home, his neighbors came to find him and forced him to pay the public service fee because he owed it too long. Francois just kept the check in his hand. He really didn't want to give money. But suddenly, everyone was looking at him with admiration. "Why didn't you tell us?" this old man said. He didn't understand what was going on. Why don't you tell us about what you've done? There's no need to be so modest. It turned out that for Laura, her dad was always the greatest. Although he was very stingy, everything he did, he just wanted to help orphans in need. For the first time, Francois didn't know how to face with his daughter. Also for the first time, he voluntarily agreed to let his daughter stay here longer. Because of that, the neighbors started to change their mind about him. They no longer urged him to pay the fee, and they even smiled and greeted him. That day, Francois had to perform outside for a day. Before leaving, he even advised his daughter many times, but he still didn't feel secure. 5 minutes before the performance, he called his daughter again. The furniture in the house was ransacked, his daughter told him. Even your money was lost. Hearing that, Francois felt impatient. He wanted to go home immediately. But if he didn't perform, he would have to pay for the ticket. Hearing that, Francois ran out to perform. His movements were decisive, his hands were quick to command. The people on the stage seemed to be exhausted. After that, only Lavery agreed to take him home. When opening the door, Francois was dumbfounded. He immediately ran to the electric meter. The electric meter was increasing continuously. Huang Wai. There were a lot of decorative electric lights outside. Francois collapsed to the ground. When he opened his eyes, he saw a room full of things. It turned out that everyone heard about his work helping orphans, so they donated the necessary things. Everything had gone too far, real or fake didn't seem to matter anymore. Anyway, the lie was told. So Laura invited him to a public service, and then asked him to come up the stage to speak. He didn't know what to say, so he made up a story. When I was in Mexico, and I live in a small village there. The orphans there are all around me. They even call me Grandpa. After that, he couldn't speak anymore. Everyone applauded for him. But he told the truth. I can't, sorry I didn't do like that. He still chose to be frank. Because he couldn't face his lie. He was honest. For the first time, he took the initiative to take out the money. And he sincerely wanted to raise money. After that, the check for €30 was suddenly torn. In the cheers of everyone, Francois wrote €3,000 on the check. The atmosphere of the charity event was suddenly pushed to the climax. The organizer also excitedly hugged him. But then, he immediately went to the toilet and tore up the check. Unexpectedly, his daughter saw it. On the way home, he happily shared with his daughter. However, Laura looked contemplative and a bit cold. At this time, Francois was slowly accepting this daughter. He also took the initiative to help her fold the clothes. When he saw the picture she drew when she was a child, and saw the message her mother sent her, obviously in conversations, his daughter seemed to be disappointed in him. He became indignant and went to find Laura. However, at this time, he saw Carol, Laura's mother. He got angry and started complaining to Carol. I've never wanted to have children. If you asked me at that time, I would definitely tell you to have an abortion. Hearing that, Carol angrily slapped him and dragged him to the window. Seeing his daughter lying down, her body full of needles, Francois was really dumbfounded. It turned out that his daughter only had one kidney, and she needed a kidney donor. Because Carol had no other choice, she had to let her daughter and Francois meet. However, these words caused Francois to completely collapse. What kind of person do you think I am? Stingy, scrimp or inhumane? Francois felt frustrated and left the hospital. But he didn't know that this time he left, his daughter felt more disappointed in him. Francois saw the picture was torn, so he took the initiative to find his daughter. He hoped to make peace with her, and for the first time, he showed his feelings. I don't know why I'm like this. I've been like that since I was a child. Francois had tears in his eyes and finally said, I'm so happy to be your father. But my father died a long time ago, Laura told him. Hearing that, Francois left disappointed, but unexpectedly Laura kept him. Dad. This time, there was no distance between them. They lay on the hospital bed looking at each other and holding hands. Later, Laura was able to go to her father's concert as she wished. Francois also really became a volunteer helping children with new clothes and gifts. But he still calculated very meticulously and thriftily. He would rather walk than buy a bus ticket. The whole movie had taken humor to describe the change of people. People can be saving, but also can be stingy. However, they will be very generous towards those they truly love.